A troubled school district learns its fate. Adams 14 now headed for reorganization.
The kids, families, and educators of Adams 14 deserve nothing less than our hardest fight.
What this means for students as the district says it is ready to fight to stay alive.
A baby formula shortage, leaving store shelves empty and parents on the hunt.
We checked lots of places, King Soopers, Walmarts, things like that.
Tonight, we're showing you what you can and what you shouldn't do as the FDA tries to ramp up production.
Movie set in Colorado, but not filmed here.
It's devastating. Stories that happened in Colorado, and they're filming them in Montana.
How state lawmakers are hoping they can rewrite that script.
A warm, dry day in Colorado makes a perfect recipe for fires.
In Greeley, a grass fire impacted power lines, knocked out electricity. In Adams County, crews quickly put out this small grass fire. This is near I-76 in Lowell before it could cause any damage.
More of this could be in store for us tomorrow. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson is breaking down our fire threat.
A lot of dry conditions out there. Look at our drought map across the state. All of Colorado under some level of drought, and it gets worse farther to the east and the southeast. Today, temperatures were warm, but not as hot as they'll be tomorrow. 81 in Denver, 90 down at La Junta. We'll tack on 5 to 10 degrees on a lot of these readings tomorrow. The winds aren't all that strong right now, but they will be increasing. And fire weather warnings are in effect for about 2/3 of the state for tomorrow afternoon. So our headlines are a hazy, hot, and dry Wednesday with very high fire danger. It does turn a bit cooler on Thursday, but in that 7 to 10 day outlook, there's very little, if any, precipitation.
A troubled school district appears headed for dissolution.
After years of poor performance, the State Board of Education today voted 4-3 to remove Adams 14's accreditation and begin the process of reorganization.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us from the newsroom. And Colette, you're hearing from district officials who don't plan to go down without a fight.
Those with the district say the actions of the board don't change their commitment to the students one bit. If anything, it only strengthens their resolve. That decision today comes after years of low academic performance in the district, which is why the State Board of Education intervened. After a meeting in April, the district had come up with a new plan, which did involve a partial manager coming into the situation, as long as they understood the importance of Adams 14's local control. Now, that is still part of the plan after today's vote, but the improvement efforts from the plan weren't enough for the board. Those included stronger systems around the teacher learning cycle and improving student performance through shared accountability systems, among other measures. The biggest thing those with the district want families to know is nothing will be changing soon. Kids will still be going to school, graduation is still happening, and they believe there will be a strong future for decades to come.
We ain't going anywhere. Our superintendent, our leadership team, our school board, we came into this knowing this wouldn't be easy. Turnaround never is. What they care about is my school going to be there next year? The answer is yes. Are the teachers that I know and trust going to be given the opportunity to do their job? The answer is a categorical yes.
The reorganization process is expected to take more than a year, but all of the schools in Adams 14 should stay open during that time. The first step in the process is creating an organization planning committee, which will be coming up with their own plan for the district. That committee will be made up of representatives from each of the nearby school districts, which could be the ones to absorb the Adams 14 schools. Whatever plan they come up with will have to be voted on by those in the districts. The school district is waiting on the final language regarding today's decision to come from the Attorney General's office, and in the meantime, their work will focus on explaining what this all means for their community. Live in the newsroom, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
A lot of people are watching. All right, Colette, thank you. And Adams 14's been struggling for years. Let's take this in depth. Since 2010, the district has received the state's 2 lowest performance ratings. And since 2011, its 4-year graduation rate has stayed at least 11% below the statewide average. Consistent leadership also has been an issue. Since 2008, this district has had 7 different superintendents.
Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters is once again barred from overseeing her county's elections. A judge today removed Peters as Mesa County's designated election official for this year's primary and general elections. Peters, who is running for the Republican nomination for Secretary of State, is accused of tampering with her county's elections equipment. Deputy Clerk Belinda Nisley is also barred. Denver 7 has reached out to Peters for comment. We have yet to hear back.
In a follow-up to a Denver 7 exclusive report from last night, we are tonight hearing from the state about a North Glen assisted living center being forced to close. The owner of Sunny Slope Estate in North Glen told us Monday the state's not renewing their license, that they were late on some paperwork and did not have the money to pay the fines. However, the state health department is painting a different picture. They say Sunny Slope has a, quote, history of violating state regulations dating back to 2019 when an investigation found Sunny Slope failed to respect its residents' rights and properly administer medications. Also, that it failed to renew their license as far back as June of 2020. The state says this is important. It ensures that all Sunny Slope's 32 residents are relocated safely before the facility closes May 25th.
A baby formula shortage has worried parents scrambling.
Now, nationwide, 40% of large retail stores are out of stock because of supply chain issues and a safety recall. Some parents even turning to the internet. In fact, take a look at this. On the Denver Craigslist page, you'll find many people selling formula.
Well, if a baby is not being breastfed, this is the only thing they eat. The FDA is working with manufacturers to increase formula production.
Well, tonight, Denver 7 CB Cotton is hearing from those worried parents.
I might have to make him a bottle real quick.
Ashley Lane is grateful she can even make a bottle, but it wasn't easy.
He's like, that's exactly what I needed, yes. My sister picked me up some in Arvada yesterday, my dad up in Thornton the other day.
Finding formula has become a family affair for this mother, simply because it's hard to find as a nationwide shortage continues.
There was nothing left on the entire shelf. I took a picture and sent it home, and I was like, thank goodness we have a couple cans left.
She's found her cans of Infamil formula, but other moms across the Denver metro and entire state are still looking.
They've gone to 4 different stores and have not been able to find anything.
Kelsey Perez created the Facebook group Moms Helping Moms Denver metro areas. She says there's daily messages from mothers desperate to find their baby's next meal.
We have mothers offering, and then we also have mothers that are searching for formula.
Ultimately, we want to make sure that every child gets the nutrients that is important to their health.
Laura Ann Cleveland, Associate Chief Nursing Officer of Rocky Mountain Hospital for Children, says while formula supply is low, moms should never dilute their formula or use homemade formula recipes posted online.
It really is not safe to do that. Additionally, on social media, I've been seeing, I think there's some good intentions people out there, but they're either selling formula or giving away formula that they had on their shelf. And I really would caution against that, again, because you don't know how it's been stored. You don't know if anything's been added to it.
But here is what moms can do.
The big thing is to know that it's okay to alter what formula you have, meaning that you can have generic formula. You can additionally trial out different type of formulas. The biggest thing is if you look on the back, it's important to look to see what your current formula carbohydrates and proteins are and match that with whatever formula you are choosing to go to.
And looking to the state's milk bank, which screens and provides human milk, is also an option.
They are testing everything to make sure that the milk is safe for the child.
Safety amid the shortage is top of mind for both of these mothers.
I always try and grab 1 or 2 when I go in because I don't want to wipe the shelves.
Oh.
CB Cotton, Denver 7.
And in response to the shortage, stores like CVS, Walgreens, Target are now limiting how much formula customers can buy at once.
A battle is brewing on Capitol Hill. Tomorrow, Senate Democrats will call a procedural vote for a bill to enshrine abortion rights into federal law. The push, not expected to be a successful one. Democrats need at least 10 Republican votes to overcome a filibuster. However, tomorrow's vote will put each senator on record with where they stand on the issue. Democrats are scrambling to protect abortion rights following last week's historic leak of draft opinion showing the Supreme Court set to overturn Roe v. Wade. The actual decision from the Supreme Court is not expected until late June. Spike Lee's Black Klansman, Liam Neeson's Cold Pursuit, Stephen King's Dr. Sleep.
So all 3 of those movies take place in Colorado. None of them were filmed in Colorado.
As Denver 7's Colette Bordelon learned why lawmakers want to change that, and one answer can be seen in Estes Park.
The hotel was originally built in 1909.
There's no introduction needed.
People come here for everything that was included in the Shining movie, the Stanley Kubrick.
Because the stories surrounding the Stanley.
We're gonna go see room 217.
Let's do it.
That's what people want to see.
Speak for themselves.
The ghost, the paranormal, everything that happens here. That's our #1 seller.
All because of a room that inspired The Shining.
Why is the key for 217 turned the opposite way?
Because the ghosts like it that way. If it gets turned the way that all the other keys are, it will get turned back without anybody doing it backwards.
Tours about spooky stories.
Lucy doesn't usually eat the food since she's been dead for 50 years. I have actually seen the wrapper open while it was sitting flat on someone's hand.
Paired with surprising facts.
Was filmed more for Dumb and Dumber than it was for The Shining.
Because what you may not know
Nothing from the movie The Shining is filmed here.
is all part of the fun.
I think people come here because of the story.
Rand Harrington will tell you the story makes the place.
They leave with their own stories. And I think it's the gathering of stories that they take away that enriches this place and makes people come back for more.
It's the lasting impact of a hotel with a legend cemented by a classic movie.
The Shining is a testament to how much that can happen.
We've shot a couple big movies, but mainly what we get here is little.
Donald Zuckerman of the Colorado Office of Film, Television, and Media wants more cameras with people behind them all over the state.
The neighboring western states, their incentives are frequently 50% higher than ours.
Incentives, that's where production meets a location. Colorado has a rebate program, meaning when something is shot in our state, up to 20% of the production budget can be paid for. But our neighbors in New Mexico offer a 25 to 35% refundable tax credit. Or look at Montana's incentive, which ranges from 15 to 35% in tax credits.
It's devastating because you have people filming movies that are possibly about stories that happened in Colorado, and they're filming them in Montana.
Jim Janicek, who's produced thousands of hours of television, is excited about the passage of House Bill 1408 this year. A film incentive task force will examine the current program. They could decide to issue an incentive higher than the 20% rebate, and we'll see how Colorado can better compete with neighboring states. What they learn will be presented to legislators at the start of next year's session.
The network really looks at who or where they're going to get the biggest bang for the buck.
It also gives the Office of Film, Television, and Media $2 million for the fiscal year.
I don't know of any other state film program that gets that little money.
To qualify for the rebate program in Colorado, production companies need at least half of their cast and crew to be local.
It's tough to be an actor in Colorado. It's always been a challenge for me and as well as my colleagues to actually get consistent work here.
So incentivizing production in Colorado and hiring local changes the focus for people who already work in the field and those who want to.
We're offering world-class education in film at community college prices.
The Colorado Film School has around 300 students, and many of them would like to build their career in the state they fell in love with.
Some of them are going to go to other markets if we can't provide those jobs for them.
A reflection of what we've seen in the past.
And it is a very old mirror, but people will see weird images in it, weird images around it.
And still see today.
Artists can get at truth in a way that scientists can't.
Because what's behind any good movie?
What is it that moves people? Emotions, right? And how you feel about something. How do you get somebody to feel something? You tell a story.
Is something time can't touch. Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
A mini horse working miracles.
We're lucky he's such a good boy. You might not know it, but he is a good boy.
One cool colt proving a little horsepower goes a long way.
With Nashville in the rear view, the Avs turn their sights to round 2.